Good morning, American Night here. It is Sunday, May 31st, into May. I cannot believe how fast this year is going. I set all these big goals for myself for this year, and I'm just like, yeah, it ain't happening. I'm not even close to where I was supposed to be. That's okay. You know what? I'm enjoying life as much as I can. I'm actually doing okay. I'm actually doing okay. I'm just we need to start getting some bonuses going at work. That'll help me get caught up with some of my goals. I was supposed to make a full Roth IRA contribution this year, and that just has not panned out. I've been doing some other things. I've been helping my kids a lot this year, particularly my oldest daughter. I've been sending her some money, so trying to help her out. She's in school, she's in college, and she's trying to work. She just doesn't get very many hours. It's like she's having a hard time getting enough hours at work. So hopefully she can find a good position for herself and start making a little bit of money, a little bit more money than she is right now. I know she's a little bit frustrated by the economic situation right now. I think we're all a little bit frustrated with the economic situation right now. It's like I make good money. I make more, I live by myself. I have my own house. I've got, I'm taking care of everything on my own. But it's just, when I spend probably about $1,500 a month on my kids, between child support and what I'm putting in my daughter's 529 account, my youngest daughter's 529 account, and the money that I'm sending my oldest daughter. And on top of that, my mortgage, my homeowners association, my car payment, my car insurance, utilities, and just everything else. It's that money gets gone pretty quick. Anyway, I am going to my parents' house today. My parents, I'm really getting concerned about my parents, you guys. It's my dad's been having issues. My mom took a fall yesterday. Apparently hurt herself. I have some crutches here in the back of my car that I've had at my house for a while. She asked me to bring them, so I'm just like, I think my weekends, going forward, I may have to be coming over here to my parents' house every weekend to try to help them out with things around the house. Life is changing a little bit that way. I still mentally don't. I know what the math is. I know my dad's 75. My mom's getting ready to turn 70. And I realize that, but I just don't think about them being that age. It's like, it's hard for me. I don't know. It's like my dad, if you see my dad's is pretty feeble these days. He's not getting around as well as he did. My mom though seems fine. She's been seeming fine until yesterday she had this fall, but I don't know if she slipped on something or what happened. But when a 70-year-old takes a hard fall, it's she said her knee is swelling up. So anyway, we're just gonna do what we can, right? We got a lot of change happening at my job this week. We're going to have a big meeting at work tomorrow morning. We've been kind of keeping it a secret from the office. The office knows that something's up, but they don't know what the details. I know the details, but my boss kind of swore me to secrecy, so I can't really talk too much about it. But until tomorrow. Tomorrow it will be announced, and but it's going to be interesting. I think it's going to be good for me in the long term. I think for me, it's going to mean a little less work than I've been doing, but more money. So less work, more money equals a happy forest. So anyway, we'll see how it works out. But I am hoping that it all goes smoothly. And I was thinking about trying to do this Camino de Santiago trip. I really want to go to Spain and do this hike in 2028. And I've still got that tentatively earmarked, but everything going on with my parents, I just don't know if I'm gonna be able to get away for 2 months, leave my parents here by themselves for two. I don't think I'm gonna be able to do that. Um, their decline, I guess, is just it's starting to. It feels like it's kind of speeding up a little bit, and it's kind of scary a little bit, really. My dad, especially. I mean, I feel like I don't know how much time we got left with my dad. I mean, in terms of health issues, he seems to be okay. Um, but cognitively he's really been having some issues with his cognitive stuff, and that kind of makes me wonder. It's like, how much more time do we have with my dad? He's a little bit depressed. He told my mom that he just feels like his life is over, and there's just nothing to look forward to. And I can understand that. I can see where that would be a hard thing to get a hold of, get it, to deal with. I don't know how I'll feel when I'm 75. It's like you get to a point where your mobility is a little bit limited. You can't get around and do the things that you once did. You can't do the things that you might want to do. When you're that age, you just have to kind of take care of yourself and try to. I don't know. I don't know. I've told them they need to find some little things, some little activities, for my dad around that he can do at home, because it's just. I think he gets stir crazy being at home all the time, and he wants to get out and go do stuff, and it's just he just, I don't, it's just it's worrisome. But in terms of the world news here lately, I don't know where things are going right now. This whole Iran thing. Trump came out this past week, said he doesn't really care about the midterms. He doesn't care. He's not worried about that. He's 100% focused on preventing Iran from getting a nuclear weapon, which, okay, but these politicians, it's like you're hired to take care of, to look after the benefit, the welfare of the people that you're representing. You're representing the American people, and it just doesn't seem like what we're doing right now is helping the American people very much. You know what I mean? I get not, it's like I just think on the list of things that Americans are worried about, an Iranian nuclear weapon is probably number 347. It's just not, it's not something that most Americans are really that concerned about. We don't feel like that's really going to impact us here. Iran would be insane to try to do something like that, because we would obliterate them from the face of the planet. But at the same, it's just, I don't know. I can't vote Democrat. I have a million and one reasons why I will never vote Democrat, but the Republicans are not really making their case easier either. And I'm at a point where it's just we need more competition among the political parties. We need more than just red or blue. We need more political parties. I think more so now than ever, we need other alternatives, because I can't vote Democrat. I will not vote Democrat. The Republicans are frustrating as hell for me, because they when they're campaigning, everything they say sounds pretty good to someone like me. I wanted the border secured. I wanted them to. I don't want detention centers. We don't need detention. We don't need ICE detention centers. We need runways with jumbo jets leaving every 15 minutes. That's what we need. That's what I would like to see. But it's like we need to fix our kids. I don't know what to do about the younger generation. Basically, kids are raising themselves these days. There's not a mother at home to look after the kids, because the mother has to work. But households have to have two incomes, which leaves other people to raise the young children. And then if the kid's over the age of like 9 or 10 years old, they're raising themselves. And if left to their own devices, what are these kids going to do? They're going to goof off. They're going to play on their little phones or play their video games, and they're not learning anything. You know, it's like our society's really screwed up. We need mothers at home again. I mean, I hate saying this, but we need mothers in the homes to raise these kids. We need, I don't know, man. It's the whole thing is just a cluster. And it's hard not to see the decline, even from when I was a kid. I grew up as a child in the 1980s. I was born in the late 70s. Grew up in the 80s. The decline that I've seen in the United States I'm almost 50 years of life. It's astounding. It's just amazing how much change there's been. And it's some of it's positive. Some of these, we've improved our technology and all this stuff, but I think we have a worse quality of life than we've ever had since I've been alive. No matter, regardless of all these advancements that we're so proud of, right? It hasn't helped our kids. It hasn't helped us as people. I think what's going to happen, I think the United States is going into a time of stagnation and kind of, I don't even know. I mean, it will be a decline for us. But I think what's really happening is we're just kind of becoming like the rest of the world. We're going to become more like the rest of the world, kind of a second world nation, not really the powerhouse that we were. We've spent way too much money trying to fight all these wars. It reminds me a lot of what Spain did. Back Spain at one point, right after the discovery of the Americas and everything, Spain was perhaps one of the most powerful countries on the planet. Back in the early 1500s, 15 to 16, that 1500, Spain was one of the most powerful countries on the planet. But what happened was Spain just kept getting into wars. They kept fighting people. They fought the British. They fought the French. They fought the Dutch. They were fighting everybody. And they spent money. They just kept going, spending and spending and spending on military stuff. And basically they just kind of spent themselves into oblivion. And I think that's what the United States is doing. We have got to stop worrying so much about, let the rest of the world handle its own problems. I'm sick of having to spend hundreds of billions of dollars trying to fix things around the world, and we're not taking care of business here at home. I think that's what everybody's frustrated about. It's got to stop. It's got to stop. We just can't keep doing that. We just can't. So I think that spending needs to be sharply curtailed because we're $40 trillion in debt. Very little possibility of us ever digging out of that. And in fact, it's probably going to continue to grow until the government until the international community stops lending to us, period. I think that's going to come sooner rather than later. I think we're eventually going to get to a point where the international community doesn't want to lend to us anymore. Once that happens, what do? And then we're going to be forced to cut back, whether we like it or not. And that's when we're gonna see hyperinflation here. We're probably gonna see very high interest rates. That's coming. I don't see any way of avoiding it, to be completely honest with you. The best way to position yourself for a time like that is to buy hard assets. Not crypto. Not crypto. I'm sorry. I have, people have tried to sell me on crypto, and there are people that have made a ton of money on crypto. I will grant you that. But long term, I think it's going to come down to people wanting hard assets in the future. Things that you can't produce any more of. Of course, they say that Bitcoin's limited, but and I'm not even just talking metals, you know, you got gold, silver, yada, 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 but I think you need to be buying things that you can produce stuff with, garden tools, other tools that you can use. Buy really good quality tools that can be used in the future to eke out an existence, you know, if we need to. And we need to be trying to improve our skills, teaching our kids what we know and how to do things. Because we're going to run into some hard times coming up, guys, and it might get back to a time where we're going to have to do a lot more for ourselves. Food production, providing our own lodging, our own housing. We may have to. It may eventually get to a point where we're having to build our own homes, like we used to. You know, Americans used to do that. I don't know. It makes my mind wonder how bad it's going to get here, you know, down the road. But we'll see. I'm gonna go to my parents' house and see if I can help them out as much as I can today. I need to mow their yard. My left ankle is bothering me today. It's not. You know, I have gout, but I don't think this is a gout flare. I think this is a problem with the Achilles tendon back there. The gout typically affects the joint, like the ankle itself, but this feels more like that tendon is a little bit aggravated. So I really need to mow their yard today, and I'm just like, ugh. We'll see how far we get, but. Anyway, you guys have a great day. This is American Knight signing out, and I'll talk tomorrow maybe a little bit more about the big changes coming in at work and some of the things I've got going on that way. You guys take care.